I always considered myself a kind person, someone who believes in giving people the benefit of the doubt. That's probably why I didn't think twice when I saw a man standing by the roadside, thumb out, a hopeful look in his eyes. The sun was setting over Chicago's outer highways, and I figured, why not? He looked normal enough, clean, polite, maybe in his late 20s. I pulled over, and he jogged up to the passenger side, thanking me as he got in. For the first few minutes, everything seemed fine. We talked about travel, music, life goals. He asked a lot of questions, but nothing too out of the ordinary, at first. But something about his tone started to shift. His questions became more personal. Too personal. He asked if I lived alone, what kind of car I drove, even how far I was planning to go. I started feeling that pressure in my chest, that subtle weight of something being wrong, even though I couldn't quite place it yet. That's when I noticed his phone screen lighting up again and again on the dashboard, messages popping up, quick flashes of names and texts I didn't recognize. Then he took a call, his voice dropped, calm, quiet. But I caught a few words that made my stomach drop. Almost there. Yeah, she doesn't suspect anything. I tried to stay calm, my mind racing. I didn't want to show fear. I took a deep breath and said I needed to stop for gas. He nodded slowly, but something about the way he stared out the window made me think. He knew I was lying. I pulled off the highway, made a sharp right instead of going to the gas station, and took a road I knew led to a crowded plaza. The second I saw people, movement, headlights, signs of life, I threw the car in park, unbuckled, and jumped out. He didn't follow. He just sat there, watching me, smiling. That smile still haunts me. Not because of what happened, but because of what could have. I immediately shared the situation with the officer. He called the police and told them to come immediately. I tried to gain time by pretending to be looking for something, and the sirens started to be heard. The police arrived, but there was no one in the car. He had escaped. His bag was left in the car. I had the shock of my life when they took him to the police station for examination. What kind of an end was waiting for me if I had continued on my way with that man? I had agreed to watch my friend's dog for the weekend. It sounded simple. Spend a quiet day in her cozy house with her gentle golden retriever, Toby. The kind of task that almost felt like a mini vacation. Sunlight poured through the windows, the place smelled like vanilla, and Toby curled up beside me on the couch. Everything felt safe, normal. But a few hours later, Toby suddenly stood up and started growling at the back door. At first, I laughed it off, but then he bolted to the hallway, barking like he saw something, or someone. I followed him, flipped on the porch light. Nothing was there. Still, I locked the door again. That's when the lights flickered. My phone had no signal. I looked down. Toby was now hiding under the table, whimpering. Something wasn't right. Then came the noise. A soft creaking sound from upstairs. It wasn't the house settling. It was slow, deliberate. I froze. I didn't even want to breathe. Every part of me said, "Don't go up there." So I grabbed my phone, crouched in the kitchen, and whispered to 911. I tried to stay calm, but my voice shook. Minutes felt like hours. Then I saw flashing lights through the window. The police had arrived. I ran to the door and let them in. Toby darted outside, barking toward the backyard. While the officers searched, I stood by the window. One of them found muddy footprints right under the back window. I've never felt relief and fear at the same time like that. The cops stayed a while, made sure I was okay. Eventually, I was alone again. I checked every lock twice. And even now, as I sit here with Toby resting at my feet, I can't shake the feeling that someone had been watching us, waiting, and they might still be out there.
I left the party feeling lightheaded, a little too drunk to think clearly, but not enough to realise I was making a mistake. The rideshare app wasn't working, and the street was nearly empty. I just wanted to get home. So when an old sedan pulled up and the driver smiled at me, asked if I needed a lift, I didn't think twice. I got in. At first it felt harmless. He made small talk and I tried to laugh along, but there was something in his tone. Too smooth, too calculated. Then came the questions. Where did I live? Was anyone expecting me? The fog in my head started to clear, just enough to feel a knot in my stomach. Then he took a turn. Literally. Off the main road, into some dark, empty street I didn't recognise. I asked where we were going. He said, "Shortcut." But I didn't buy it. That's when the doors locked. He didn't yell, he didn't threaten. He just turned to me and said, "Give me your wallet and phone." Just like that. Cold. Like it was routine. My heart started pounding. My hands were shaking. I knew I had seconds to decide what to do. As the car slowed down at a stop sign, I made my move. I shoved the door open and jumped out. I hit the pavement hard, scraped my arm, but I didn't stop running. I didn't look back. Eventually, I saw flashing lights. Police. I waved them down, nearly collapsing when they stopped. I told them everything. I was lucky. So lucky. I keep thinking, what if I hadn't acted when I did? What if I hadn't trusted that gut feeling? It was just a ride home, but it could have been the last ride I ever took.